Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody, and welcome to our today's afternoon session. So, I hope everybody is doing perfectly well. How are you guys this afternoon? I hope the morning session was well too. So, I'm going to start this call by introducing myself, and my name is Lorian, and I am a digital marketing strategist with Impact Her, and I'm going to be your host this afternoon. For those that were here yesterday, we were together at the same time, and then today we are concluding the sessions. So, first things first, I would like to know everybody that's on the call with me. Please kindly introduce yourself in the chat section. Let me know your name. Let me know where you're joining us from. So it's true that I told you guys my name is Lohian, right? But I'm equally joining you guys from Cameroon. I'm joining you guys from Cameroon from a very beautiful city called Douala. It's the economic capital. And it's mid rainy, mid sunny here this afternoon. Like I don't know, the climate is deciding to be in between. What about you guys? How is it that way? Please tell me how you are, where you are, and who you are. Okay, given that I'm not alone on this call, I'm going to introduce those that with me too, Amarachi and Udeme. Maybe you might be meeting both of them in the comment section, right? But Amarachi is the main person that you'll be meeting in the comment section. Amarachi, she's going to keep you guys familiar with everything that she's doing, and she's going to answer your questions. So feel free to drop your questions for Amarachi in the chat. And Udeme is equally here at the back end. He's going to make sure that everything works smoothly and that we don't have any incidents. Okay. Now, let me get to discovering all those that are on the comment section with me this afternoon. So, hi, Lilian. I'm so happy to see you again today. I'm very, very happy to be with you too. Welcome, Lilian. Yeah. Hi, Anu. Of course, it's another time to learn. And of course, it's good vibes all the time. Hi, Chica. Welcome to you all. Hi, John. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, Esther. Hi, Irene. Oh, it's nice. We're really happy to know that it has been a very, very great week for you guys. I hope that at the end of all this, you guys are going to put all this into practice because it's not just knowing. It's not just knowing. You actually have to put this into practice so that it can take your business to another level. So, good afternoon, Bernice. Good afternoon, Praye. Good afternoon, Plectora, Victoria, Sophie, and everybody, Faith, everybody on the call. Hi, Helen C. Hi, Aisha. Okay, hi, Ruth. Thank you. Chica knows how to spell my name. I'm shy. So, hi, everybody. And I'm really, really happy to be with you guys on the call. So, it's our last session, right? The bootcamp ends here. The bootcamp ends here today. So, make sure that you learn the best from this session, sorry, today, giving your 100% best to learn, okay? And feel free to ask questions. You guys already know. Feel free to ask session in the comment section. Ask your questions, ask your preoccupations. Of course, I'm going to check on you guys most often to make sure you're all fine and stuff. So let us start. Our topic for today is staying productive online. Staying productive online. That's our topic for today. And there are a lot of surprises, there are a lot of things that you're going to learn. Now, let me obviously present the agenda to you this afternoon. So, it's important that you understand, right, that this session is capital for all entrepreneurs in this century, especially those that are already taking their business online, those that are remotely working, those that are mainly online, those that are taking their business online. It's important that you know how you can actually benefit from being online, how you can profit 100%, how you can make sure that your journey online is productive for yourself and for your company. So this is why we have this session, okay? So we're going to discuss the items you need to set up your remote office. We're equally going to explain the importance of building a productive work environment, and we are going to conclude to how to manage and maintain your well-being. So these are the major sessions for today's training. So let's dive deeper. And before we dive deeper into the training today, first things first, the Hustle Academy Bootcamp. So if you're here on this call and you have not yet signed up for the free bootcamp available from Google, then it's problematic. Okay, it's just kidding though, but make sure you sign up for it. Make sure you sign up for the Google Hustle Academy, because you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be a very great moment of apprenticeship. It's going to be a 1 week boot camp, and you're going to learn on a variety of topics. Okay, now to begin the session, guys, I have one question, and the question goes those. So how has COVID-19 impacted your role? Now, you guys tell me, what has COVID-19 done to your current position? I mean, before it came, what was the state and what's the status now? Just let me know the impact that COVID-19 has had on your role. Please let me know in the comment section. I'm already going there to listen to you. Remember that our sessions have to be very interactive, right? We need to participate because it's worth sharing. All of us need to get the most out of it. That's why we need to really all be participative. So let me know, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? I'm already going right away to the comment section to read what you've written. Okay, so welcome to all those that are joining now. I see Emmanuel, I see Anita, I see CY. Welcome. Okay, Chika says it opened her eyes to the importance of online business. Wow, Chika, this is really great, right? Personally, COVID-19 opened my eyes on the reasons why I had decided to become a tech savvy. You know, being a tech savvy means you know either about your computers and phones and all the like. But personally, me, I knew why it was greatly important for me not only to know, not only to have a knowledge, but to have a mastery. That's what COVID-19 did to my role. Because being yes, I'm into digital marketing and all the like, so I really had a somewhat connection with the digital sphere. But then with COVID-19, I realized its major and capital importance. So let me keep listening to all of you. Okay, so Irene said it initially reduced sales until I started to using Facebook and delivery. Perfect. See, COVID-19 had a negative effect, right, on Irene. But then she thought, what do I do so that I can still profit from this period? So her solution was Facebook and then delivery. This is really interesting. Okay, so Lilian says, Busy Bee Honey, Uganda was a business born during the pandemic. Okay. That's good. That's very great. You see, COVID-19 actually gave her the idea of running her business, and now she's learning the necessary skills in order to be able to scale with her business. Lilian, sign up for the Google Hustle Academy Bootcamp. Let me see what Faith says. It made me understand the importance of digital marketing. Nice. Awesome, Faith. COVID-19 made me transition from an employee to an entrepreneur after I lost my job. Wow, Michelle, I'm so sorry that you lost your job, but I'm happy that you actually got this understanding. And this had an effect like this on many other people. Most of us before COVID-19 were doing one main stream of income, right? Everybody was having one major stream of income. But most people realized that a job can get up and disappear at every single point in time. So it's important to always have a backup. Yeah, Maria says most business had to move to the online space and we had to adapt working virtually. That's true. That's one of the major impacts. People needed to learn. Like what I said now, I wasn't learning how to work digitally, but then I realized that I needed to be more. Like what I knew about technology was good, but then I had to really be more. Anita says it gave her the opportunity to start a business. Opened Ude says COVID-19 opened my eyes on how to widen my horizon. I was limiting my domain to my location, but COVID-19 helped me widen my tentacles. Nice. This is really a nice comment. Nice, Chica. Come up with my business of making to ready to wear dresses, scrubs, and uniforms for doctors. And wow, Victoria, this is really great. Yeah, yeah, Bernice, I concur. I concur. During the pandemic, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Plethora said it has made me to look for more ways to get my business done. Okay, thank you guys so much. You know, if I have to really read through all the comments, we're going to take a lot of time, but I really want to say thank you so much for sharing. I really, really, really appreciate. And I'm really happy that everybody on this call, well, maybe not everybody, but most of us on this call had an impact with COVID-19, me inclusive, because I'm including myself to the challenges or to whatever was brought about by COVID-19. Now let's now truly dive deeper into our topic, right? Let's talk about, setting up your remote office, sorry. So this is our first topic in our today's session. We are talking about setting up your remote office. So first of all, what is remote working all about, right? Remote working, okay, it's actually the style that allows professionals to work outside of the traditional office, okay. It simply means you don't need to work from the normal office fare or the normal work, but you can work from every single place where you are, right? That's what remote working means. It is based on the concept that work does not need to be done in a specific place to be executed. And I'm a serious advocate of remote working. I don't know about you guys. So, while having the ability to work from outside of a corporate office has been feasible for a few decades, remote working has actually come and changed everything. And honestly, people are mostly now tilted to working remotely. Now, let's think about it this way, and that's the way that I really think about it. Instead of having to go to work every single day, having to pay taxis, or having to commute. In fact, I don't even know how it is with you guys, but from what I've heard about Lagos, I've heard that just moving within Lagos is a very, very difficult, situation. And that's when remote working comes to help, okay? Not only does it help with the commuting, reducing transport, the stress that comes with moving from one point to the other, also it actually been proven that when employees can work on their own terms, right, they are more productive. Why? Because they know when they feel like they do most of the work, they are more open to how to do their work, right? And obviously, it has to be a cultural shift, because before there was not this remote working or the like, but now they're actually living from one state of mind to the other state of mind. Now, let's look at all the areas where we can actually work remotely. So, first things first, working remotely doesn't mean you only work at home, right? No, 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 no. There are a lot of places. It doesn't mean working just from home. It means working from where you feel like you're going to be productive. For some people that are solely self-employed, maybe they are freelancers. Home is generally their first idea. Like, let me work from home, right? But it's not only the case. You can work from several places. You can work from home. You can work from a coffee shop. You can work from a co-working space, and you can work from a library. I personally work from home, and I work from a coffee shop, and I work from a co-working space personally, because I am a remote worker. So working from home is very good. You get it's sometimes the best options, and honestly for me too, most of the times it's the best options, because you're in your house. You can be able to do one or two things parallel to work. In fact, a lot of specialists advise people that work remotely not to sit down on their laptop from the beginning of the day to the end. Like, to always include little things that distract them, so that they don't get bored. Because when you're working from home, you are alone in your house. That means no noise, nothing, and sometimes it can get tiring, boring. You might even feel sleepy. So they advise that after every hour, get doing something else that is not your job, right? You take like 5 to 10 minutes, take frequent breaks, so that you have time to refresh your mind and things like that. Working from a coffee shop is really nice, especially if you find the advantage of working in a very pretty coffee shop that has good rates and also that is welcoming, like the coffee shop where I work, right? The coffee shop where I work is really, really, really pretty. It's very interesting. And currently, I am in a coffee shop. So it's one of the places where you can work from when you're working remotely. Thirdly, it's a co-working space. You know, co-working space is a very great option because there it's solely work, right? In coffee shops, sometimes people can come and make a lot of noise and you cannot control it. But you know, in the coffee shop, it's already sure that no, okay, everywhere has to be quiet, everywhere has to be focused in a co-working space. Sorry. So co-working space is an option, but sometimes can be a little bit expensive, right? And then to conclude, there are libraries. Libraries too are very, very nice because generally libraries are free. Free. But excuse me, if you are going to make a call, you should not work in a library because you're going to disturb other people, right? So these are places where you can work remotely. Now, I'd like to hear, according to you guys, what do you think are the necessary things you will need if you're working remotely? What do you think are the necessary tools or the necessary equipment that you cannot do without if you're going to work remotely? So let me go and read in the chat section what you think. I am not yet seeing any responses. A laptop. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Irene. Irene says she needs a laptop, she needs an internet, catchy laptop, better data. That's very true. If you're working remotely, you don't only need a laptop, you need a very good laptop. You don't only need data, you need very good internet connection because everything you're doing is online. Nothing has to stop, everything has to be continuous. So you need to make sure that you have the sufficient internet to be able to work and work well. Yeah. You need Wi-Fi, of course. You need phone and data. Yes. Sylvia, you make a point. Headset with noise cancellation. Yeah, in fact, let me tell you one thing. Internet is the main thing that you need to have because without internet, you can't do anything. You can literally, in fact, you cannot work remotely because that is the connecting factor. It's because there is internet nowadays that we can think about this remote working option. If there was no internet, then we wouldn't even be thinking about it. Now, let's look together what you need to work remotely. You know, other than what we all say, there are a few elements that you need to work remotely. You need, first of all, a good space. You need a dedicated workspace. Why? Because sometimes you might think that working remotely just means working anyhow. In fact, you know, it's still a conception. It's still quite new to some people. And for others, it's just, oh, okay, I can just get up and do it anywhere. Trust me, you're not going to be productive. Nothing. If you just take remote working, if you banalize it, that's the term. If you just take it anyhow, you're not going to be productive. So you need a dedicated workspace. You need to actually be able to tell yourself this is where I work and it's different from where I spend my leisure time if you're doing that from home. Okay. And so when you come maybe to a coffee shop, you need to find that space that permits you to have your area, but at the same time you feel that you can work and you can work very well in that space. Also, you don't only need a laptop, like I said, you need a good laptop. That brings us to the second point. You need devices. You need devices that are able to support the fact that maybe you're going to be running 1,000 pages opens at once on your laptop. You need apparatus. You need even a good phone, because if you have to be working remotely, that means that everything on your life is either in your phone or in your laptop. So both of those devices have to be really solid in such a way that it permits you to be able to make the most out of your work. And then lastly, the major thing is internet, because like I said, if there's no internet, there's no remote working. That term does not exist. So you need to work, you need to have a good internet connection. See, if you are really working online, don't go for the little connection. You're not going to be able to do anything out of it. If possible, even have one, two, three internet connections that you can be switching one from the other in order to make sure that your work is really fluent, right? Nextly, you need to create your own workspace, right? First of all, you need to avoid places like the bed or the couch. Honestly, avoid those places. Why? Because whenever you're sitting on the couch, you have tendencies of wanting to sleep. That's the truth. If you're on the bed, it'll be very easy for you to be in the training session and then you sleep because you're on your bed. It's normal. So you should instead create a very comfortable work environment that permits you to be productive even if you are working from home, right? You need to create your own workspace. You need to set up a table and a chair. And I'll advise you to get a comfortable chair. If not, you're going to have lumbago. You know what a lumbago is now? When your back starts hurting. So it'd be good that you get yourself a table and that you get a comfortable chair. You need to make sure that your space is comfortable. You equally need to consider your posture. Don't always go for postures that are a little bit too comfy, that puts you in your comfort zone and all. Create the workspace even when you're not at work. Working remotely means you create your work environment even when you're not really at work. It's important you do that. Now, I would like to guys to understand that sometimes, okay, you might want your bed, but it's not good. It's not good you do work with your bed by you. You might easily fall asleep. So these are the elements that you need to consider when you're creating your own workspace. It's very important. Please, for you to really make the most out of this working remotely, take these advices into considerations because right now the internet is offering many opportunities and we need to be able to be in the right frame of mind to be able to grab all those opportunities. Now, let's talk about the physical equipment you might need. So, first of all, you need your phone. Who doesn't have her phone by her? Because mine is never very far. You need your phone, you need your computer, you need a notebook. Okay, since I'm really about being practical this afternoon, you need your notebook, right? You need your notebook too. You need to make sure that you have all these elements because sometimes your notebook can come and help you to check. Like in the day, I always make sure that I list everything that I have to do in the day, right? I write them down. Sometimes it's a good way to remember what you need to do, what you have done, what you have left. So this is the physical equipment you need to have for you to get a proper work environment. Also get a stable power. Okay, to be productive, you have to get stable power to charge your devices. You need to get an inverter, especially for Nigeria, because I guess you guys face a lot of power difficulties. Well, it's true that in Cameroon we do too, but not like NEPA. I don't know if it's still NEPA that is on the beats there with electricity, but you need to make sure that you have to plan this ahead, right? If you're working remotely, you're already aware of the fact that maybe you guys can have trouble one time or two, so you need to prepare this ahead. You need to make sure that you have a stable power source. For me, for example, I have to make sure that my phone does not go off. That's why I have a very good power bank because I am working remotely. I need to be reachable at all moments. My phone is not supposed to be off. I need to make sure that, for example, I have um, something that stores up electricity whenever I need to work. So, what are the advices that we can generally give you? Make sure your generating set is working. You need to try solar powered devices and inverters, and three power banks for your devices. So, these are the three major advices that we are going to give in order for you to be very productive with your remote work. So, next, you need to find sufficient internet connections. So, amongst the most basic necessities for working is a stable internet connection. You need to choose the right ISP, consider a substitute or alternative ISP, find the right router, plug into Wi-Fi, and test and compare internet speeds. This is what you need to do. Trust me. I These are things that we have done before, untested internet speeds, because like I told you, it's the major, in fact, it's the major resource. Remote working is the fact that you can be connected. So if you're not connected, then you're not working remotely. You're just not, I don't know. So you need to make sure you have good and connected and sufficient internet. Now, can we talk about the challenges that you may face when working remotely? Can somebody tell me one or two? In fact, somebody, people, let's all share. What do you think are the challenges that you would face when you're working remotely? Hi, Blessing. I see you just came on. Okay, now, hi, Annie. Welcome. You have inverters, Irene. I think your inverter, that's what it is for a laptop, but not power bank. It should be something like a power bank. Emmanuel, are you saying that when working remotely, you could have problem of trust? Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing this, but wow. Irene says distraction. Very true. This is the major thing. Yeah, Irene, I concur. Lillian, I concur. Yeah, very true. Very true. You see, even Esther is fine with what you're saying, Irene. Oh, with your employees. Okay, now, Jamila, I get the point. I get. Okay, you don't trust that your employees are going to do the work. Oh, Esther says sometimes electricity and poor internet. Okay. Oh, I get, Emmanuel. Now I get the point. Over expectations. Please, Ramatu, can I know how they're over expectations when you're working remotely? I need to know. Bernie's poor network connection. That's true. Hi, Maria. You can catch up, yeah? Network issue. Honestly, if I have to share my personal experience, the major challenge that I've had with working remotely is finding the perfect space for me. Because you need to understand how you work and you need to know the perfect space. So you need space, you need to think about it. For me, my major challenge has been finding the perfect space, and of course the network. Yeah, network too has been. Michelle, lack of money to buy data. Abi, but you're doing business now. It's part of investment. See, let me tell you guys something. When you work online, you're home. It's not more just about having a good phone. It's like your phone is an investment. Your computer is an investment. Even going to a coffee shop is an investment for you to be able to work. So, thank you guys a lot for sharing all that. Thank you guys a lot for sharing. I'm so sorry for the background noise, by the way. Sorry. One of the challenges of working remotely. Now, let's get a little bit deeper with what are the challenges you have when working remotely. It can be loneliness and lack of social interaction. To be very honest, this is one of the reasons why I work from coffee shops sometimes, because working in your room can get so boring and get so annoying sometimes. Also, there's the very, very main challenge that sometimes we don't look at is self-discipline. You may be working remotely, but you don't have the necessary discipline for you to set up your day. It demands a lot of this is very serious. It demands a lot of self-discipline. You have to be able to tell yourself that even if I don't need to be at my job at 8 a.m., there are things that I have to do in this day, and I need to give my very best so that what I've decided to do today, I am able to do it. The fact is that you have no employer benefits. That's also the truth. You have no employee benefits. It's very hard to switch off. This is also one of the challenges that I face currently. It's very hard for me to switch off. I can work from now to 8 p.m., right? Why? Because I'm like, okay, I have not yet accomplished all what I have to do today. And when I get back home, like say I'm working at the coffee shop right now, I work from now to 8 p.m. and I get back home, I can be like, well, let me just see. And then I end up doing something. So it's very hard for you to switch off when you are working remotely. Okay, you can be missing out too because you're not having your colleagues around you. So those are some of the major challenges that you would face when you are working remotely. Now, What are the benefits? We just spoke of the challenges. Can somebody give me one or two benefits of working remotely? So according to you, what are the benefits of working remotely? I'm listening to you guys. What are the benefits of working remotely? Let me already go to the chat section to see what you have said. Um, I didn't see anybody saying anything about the benefits. By the way, thank you guys so much for keeping Udeme and Amarachi so busy. Yeah, Irene. Cost effective and working from comfort zone. True, honestly. That is why I went in from remote working, because I too love to be comfortable. To me, productivity is where I can actually find my way, right? And really be at peace with what I'm doing. So, yeah, reduce cost of commuting. Yeah, you get to choose your time. Yeah. So, of course, Esther, I second your thoughts. So, thank you guys so much for these shares. This is all true. So, those are the benefits of working. Now, let's look at it all together. Flexibility. Yes, you choose your time. You don't commute. It's like the best advantage of working remotely. No commuting. Guys, there's some stress that it is when you have to move from one place to another, especially when you're in a very populated town or a very active town. Like the town where I am right now, it's a very active town, right? So sometimes you can spend like 2 hours in traffic, and I know that 2 hours in traffic is nothing compared to what you guys can feel like, right? So this no commuting is really the thing. Then time with family. Obviously, you can be able to organize your time so that you cater for your kids properly. You have less distraction. You have a high morale because you're working how you want to work, and there's a lot of positivity that comes to working how you want to work. Okay, now what are the benefits for businesses when they have remote workers? Reduce overhead costs, greater productivity, access to a wider pool of audience, a wider pool of talent. Yeah, because you can have correspondents anywhere in the world, and improved employee retention. It's a fact. If you give me the possibility to work on my own terms, I'm obviously going to be dedicated, and I'll do my very best to be responsible to make sure that my tasks come in on time. So right now we are going to stop here, and we're going to take our first set of questions. So if you have any questions from what we just shared, please feel free to leave them in the chat section, and then I'll attend to them. If you have any question, let me go to the comment section. Yeah, I'm really so okay with all what you guys are sharing. These advantages are really interesting. So now, are there any questions so far from what we just shared? Do we have any question concerning remote working? Because now this was an overview of how we can set up our remote office. So far, is it good? Please, if it's okay, if you have no question, just tell me that you have no question. It's still fine. Because you must not have a question. I'm not seeing nobody saying anything on the comment section. Guys, can we say something, please? No questions, okay. Oh, all right. Thank you guys for responding. Thank you so much for responding. So let's carry on to the other part of the training, building a productive work environment. So we now saw what is necessary to set up our remote office. Now we're going to talk about what we need to build a productive work environment. What we need to build a productive work environment. Now, why your work environment is important is really because the quality of your workspace is vital to your productivity. And I think I just said this, right? That's the case for me. I feel like I'm more productive in a very clear space, And it's true. Your work environment actually generates, contributes in generating productivity. That's why things like the couch is told to be avoided. Why? Because whenever we are on the couch, what's the next thing that we want to do? Honestly, is you want to lie down, right? You want to lie down when you're on the couch. So it's important that you have a designated area, you find the right chair for you, you get a filing system to organize your life. So it's important that you get this organized. Now, we need to know that 40% decrease in productivity due to the work. There's 40% decrease in productivity due to workplace distractions. So you see how much a workspace is important, because you can actually decrease the rate at which you'd be productive by 40% just because your work environment is not well. And 27% increase in errors. That means there are two factors. You can decrease by 40%, and 27% you can make mistakes because of your work environment. So it's important that you think about a very, very, very good area for you to work so that you avoid these kind of mistakes. Now, we can be asking ourselves, what is it that can be done, on how can you do to minimize distractions? Now, let's look at these all together. The first thing is you need to let others know your working hours, especially if you're working from home and maybe you're living with family. It's important that you let people know, okay, from this time to this time I'm working and I really don't need distractions. I don't need people coming in to ask me questions and things like that. It's important that you let them know. You equally can let your colleagues know so that they know when to contact you and when not to contact you. Okay. The second thing, which I have personally learned from, is do one thing at a time. Sometimes you can work remotely and you have so many things open, and at the end of the day, you can't even follow up what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. So it's important for you to do one thing at a time. Take one section that you're supposed to handle. If right now you're working on content, finish working on content before taking the reports. If you're working on the reports right now, finish on the report before doing another thing. Don't do all of them together because you're going to get mixed up, because you have a lot of things to do. So do one thing at a time. Third thing, avoid TV and household distractions. Fourth thing, put away all pets. Fifth things, take regular breaks. And I'm sure I said this at the beginning, but it's very, very advisable whenever you're working remotely to take regular breaks. Why? Because after working for so long, like after being concentrated like that for so long, you can often get bored and tired, and maybe it decreases productivity. So always, when you work for long, you take some time off, you walk a little bit, you can walk for a minute, or you can maybe put a song and then just dance for 5 minutes, just for you to know to empty your mind, air your brain, and then you get back to work. Okay. Now, how can you improve productivity within teams that are working remotely? How do you think you can improve productivity? First of all, project management. Remote team members need to be able to plan and collaborate on commitments, deliverables, and tasks. They also need to track the flow of work from start to finish. So it's important that there's project management. You need to be able to establish vision and deliverables. You need to establish logistics for the team, for team communication. You need to promote visibility and transparency at all work, track the quality and status of projects, identify and address bottlenecks. So it's really important that you need to think about project management. Again, please, sorry about the background noise. Now, another statistic, 70% of workplace mistakes are due to poor communication. So it's also important that there's a good way of setting up communication so that there is no mistake, there's no misunderstanding, there's no misconception. So general communications, there are a lot of tools that can help you to facilitate communication when you're working remotely: Google Hangouts, HubSpot, Slack, Gmail, and a lot more. So strong communication is actually very important for a business to be successful. You need to email all the time for formal conversations, instant messaging platforms for fast conversations and collaboration tools for project work. That's why I think where I work, we really do foster working online. You see, all of us here use Google. Why? Because it fosters collaboration. We can easily work on a document together, even if we are miles apart, and we can do that and do that really very well. Okay, so there's a need to have very important communication measures set up, right? Now, the next thing that we need to know is we need to set rules to communicate effectively. In order for communications to be effective, you need to set up rules. So, what are those rules? First of all, you communicate clearly. Think about the type of messages and the content. You need to respond promptly. You need to set and role you need to set and role model the guidelines. That means you don't just set them, you need to actually also set the pace for them to be followed effectively. Okay, so these are rules to communicate effectively. Now, video meetings and calls are also a very great way when you're working remotely, and that's one of the things that we try to promote where I'm working currently. We frequently have Google Meet meetings, frequently have to jump on a call, because it's important that we exchange. It's important that we collaborate. Video meetings and calls enable teams to communicate and collaborate in real time. And sometimes when something is being explained over a call, it's better. Like the person understands better, right? When the stuff is being explained on the call, you can actually connect teams working remotely, improve levels of communication, and boost collaboration. Right, now let's talk about Google Meet. Google Meet is actually your friend if you have to work remotely, and if you're having a Gmail, because it's easy to set up, it's easy to start a meeting, it can contain a lot of people. There are a lot of things that you can do on the call at the same time. Sometimes you can even break out rooms. If maybe you guys are a whole team on the Google Meet call and say, okay, team marketing, you guys can come aside, team this, team that, and then you guys break down, and it still brings out a lot. So you actually keep your team connected with enterprise, great video conferencing, but on Google's robust and secure global infrastructure. It's actually very nice, because even for the free trial, you can go at least long. So Google Meet is very interesting. If you've not yet tried, you should. Zoom. Zoom too is a very good video conferencing app. I think Zoom actually exploded during this COVID-19 period, and Zoom actually made work become a little bit, softer, right? What can you do with Zoom? You can request a demo and even download it for free. You can use Zoom to host or join meetings. You can get up to 100 people who can join online classmate meeting from mobile anywhere. I really loved the fact that I could always get to a Zoom call on my phone, and that I can rewatch maybe a replay video on my phone. It's really interesting. So Zoom too is another video conferencing tool that can really help you while working remotely. And the last thing that I'll say about Zoom before explaining Teams is you can rewatch the recording. It's nice. That means if you guys were in a meeting and then the meeting was concluded, and maybe there are some points that you did not understand, and if it was recorded, you can go back and watch your recording. So Zoom, good tool. Now, let's talk about Microsoft Teams. So, Microsoft Teams enables businesses to collaborate and communicate with team members across the world. So, one, you create teams and channels, organize your department. Two, you utilize the chat and video call functions to boost communication. Three, you share documents and collaborate with ease. So, what we are trying to do with all this space is to make us understand that given that there's remote working involved, there's a need for, let me say, physical conversation to be recreated. That is why all these softwares are maybe boosted to take up to 100 people, so that if we're in a meeting, we can all see each other in the meeting. We can all be focused on the call, and a lot of details. You see, things like Teams, that means all of us are in the same area, but we can create groups for this project, for that project, for this. It's really important. That makes us, even though we are away, we are together, okay? And it's a way of boosting productivity. Skype. So Skype is a video chat app. You'd have access to a variety of innovative features like in Mercy full screen video, send chat invites to anyone, and blurry. You can actually blur the background with chat. This function where you're seen, but your background is not seen, especially if your background is distractive. So that's what you can do with Skype. It's true that before the pandemic, Skype was really everything. For a few companies that sometimes maybe on mission wanted to collaborate with their employees, the first thing is, oh, let's get on Skype. So Skype is really also a very good tool, and Skype has stood the test of time, right? Skype has been there throughout, right? Now, how do you run effective meetings? What are the various steps to run effective meetings? The first thing is you set your agendas. Okay, you need to consider your tone of voice. You need to encourage using cameras and be timely. Set agendas. That means define when the meeting is about to hold. This is really important. Even if you're working with collaborators all around the world, don't just call them anytime, or don't just assume that because we are working remotely, and we know that we are supposed to be connected, we just have to get up and jump on calls at each and every moment. It's really important to set up agendas. Let the person know on Monday at 10 a.m. they have meetings, and if a meeting has to come up, maybe it should be scheduled some hours ahead, to give the person the possibility to actually get ready and get focused on the meeting. So please do set up agendas. Consider your tone of voice in the meeting. Encourage the use of cameras, because that also encourages the focus of the people. And try and make sure you are timely during the meeting. If you said it's from this time to this time, start on time. In fact, start on time and finish in time, right? Video conferencing etiquette. So even if, right, you have to run a meeting and maybe you're at home and your comfortable outfit for work is when you're wearing little light clothing, but whenever you have to be in a meeting, make sure that you put on clothes, because your camera can come on at any moment and it will not be very interesting. So make sure that for you to run effective meetings, you prepare yourself, you dress appropriately, you consider your lighting. And I want to ask you guys, how's my lighting? Consider your background, consider your audio. Honestly, consider your audio. So you need to consider a couple of things when preparing video conferencing meeting. So what are the top tips for collaborating effectively? You need to equip your team with the right tools. This is important. Say you're running a multinational right now, because I believe that your businesses are going to grow to that level. You need to make sure that when you're telling somebody, when you're making sure that the person is working with you have to think about the fact that the person needs to be well equipped. You need to make project management easier, right? Third thing, you need to make document sharing easy and accessible. You need to encourage collaborations within departments, prioritize company culture. One, I repeat, you need to equip your team with the right tools. Make sure that how you can, but give your teams the appropriate tools for them to work. Two, you need to make project management easier by with the apps and everything, setting up activities. It should really be easier. You need to make document sharing easier. There's a way that documents should be shared, because when we are working as a team, obviously my work would have effect to this other person's work. So the access has to really be smooth and faster. You need to encourage collaboration within departments, and lastly, prioritize company culture. Okay, make sure that the vision or the values that you're promoting in the company keeps flowing throughout the process. So the final top tips for productivity are: always over communicate. Ask, ensure that you have detailed questions, communicate with your team regularly, and keep them in the loop. Two, be disciplined. Remote working is not a vacation nor paid leave. This is a good point. Please, you're not on vacation. It's not as if you're doing work when you want to. You have chosen this work lifestyle, but you need to understand that it's as serious as sitting in your office, right? Third thing, have tools ready for work. Make sure that you have your good, ready equipment that you actually use to work remotely. Four, find your booster and use it. Find what keeps you boosted, activated. You need to know your working hours. You need to know when your most productive hours. You need to know when you think you are productive. It's important because when you are productive and you work within those hours, you can do much work. Okay. Now we have stopped for the second point, and I'm ready to listen. Are there any questions? Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Jane. Okay, so now, do you still have any questions? Are there questions? So what we're talking about is really building a productive work environment. So we just build the necessary tools that can help us, always have a good work environment that can help us have good communications and that makes work really smoothly. Are there any questions? Jane, Jane, that's what she says. It's a challenge because some people are not born self-disciplined. Others are organized, others are not. So when they have to start working remotely, honestly, it gets challenging for them, should be told, because those things have to be taken into consideration. So I'm going to tell her that, sometimes, people belittle this working remotely. They think it's so easy. Like, Masa, what is working remotely now? Is it not just sitting with your laptop? No, some people no, okay, forgive me for that language, but I was just trying to, try to show a conversation. Some people can actually be little working remotely, and it's not. You need to be prepared for it. It's not just using any kind of device. You need to really be set mentally, you need to be set up environmentally to accommodate working remotely. You need to think about it, right? Okay. Genuine online site. Okay, Sylvia, let me know. Is it that you're thinking of genuine online site to get a job, or yeah, let me know if that's what you're talking about. Irene, you know, we can avoid video, but generally it's good to be. You get it's good to actually be on the video call, even if you can. Sometimes it would be good to remove the video, but when you can, make sure the video is on. Um, Stella, they are platforms that can help you get remote jobs. For example, okay, say you are, if you have LinkedIn, you can go to LinkedIn and select your option. You want just remote work jobs. You can actually get there and you'd find. And I think there are sites for remote work. You can go online and search. I don't have them in my mind. I've come across them, but I can't really remember. You can go online and search. You're going to find sites. Jane, you are most welcome. Oh, the pleasure is ours, Esther. Okay, if there are no longer questions, right? While Sylvia comes back to tell me if what she was talking about was jobs, I'm going to move on to the last part. Okay. And in the last part, we are going to be talking about managing and maintaining your well being. We're talking about this because, especially we now working remotely, and when COVID-19 came, it's important to know that this element too enters in the work life of a person. So, why do you think, first of all, it's important to manage your well being? Why do you think it's important to manage your well being? Priscilla, let me be very honest. No. Um, yeah, it's good to have somebody. In fact, they even ask people to have mentors when they are working remotely, but also now have your objectives as mentors. When you're working, are you just working to work for working sake? Don't you want to meet objectives? Say you're working for somebody, obviously you want the person's business to grow, but at the same time, when you work well, right, when you're working properly, it's an advantage for you too, because you get to have a positive review, you get to have positive feedback, and if you have positive feedback, it's good for you. So think of the objectives that you set for yourself. What is it that you want to achieve with working remotely? What is it that you want to achieve? Yes. Now, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, Jane says to avoid burnout. It's very important. Avoid breakdown both mentally and physically, honestly. And trust me, these days, psychological breakdown is always very easy. Irene says you need a healthy body to work. Obviously. So thank you guys so much for the shares. It's important for you to manage your well-being, because if you are not there, there's nobody that is going to do the work for you. Okay? Now let's look at all the answers, because it impacts your well. You need to manage your well-being because overall it impacts your well. It leads to a greater productivity. When you feel good, you are more productive. It increases your resilience. You can stay more. You can be more powerful. When you have a good well-being, it boosts your morale and levels of happiness. Okay, so this is why you need to manage your well-being. Now, what do you think you can do to manage your well-being? What do you think you need to manage your well-being? Thank you, Marias. Thank you. Yeah, Ijoma. Yeah, Atil. Thank you. Thank you guys for those answers. Now, what do you think you can do to manage your well-being? Anybody, just let me know. What do you normally do? I no. Before I get to myself, I want to hear from you people first. What can you do to manage your well-being? Ah, nice, Mary. I'm happy you're loving the session. Okay, great, Irene. Take breaks. Yeah. Irene and Jane thought the same way. Eating healthy, okay? Thank you. See, if I had gifts to be shared, I would willingly share with Irene, because she's really been um yeah, Sylvia. Esther runs. Oh, Esther, I wish we were in the same country. I was going to be with you. Debbie, enough rest. Debbie, enough rest. Don't sleep too much, because you want to be healthy. The me time. Halima, I'm so with you. The you time. Eat right, do exercise regularly, have good and healthy relationships. Right. So what I do to manage my well-being is sports. Honestly, it's sports. Whenever I go for sports, right, it makes my day lighter. I feel lighter. I like starting my day with exercise. Even though whenever I go to the gym it's challenging, but it's important for me. And I'm a very active person, so I like dancing. I like those kind of little things because it evades me. That's why it's important for you to take breaks. After this, after really speaking, because I too love, like I like training on this session, is because it's like a reminder to me equally. I really love training on it. And after this session, I'm going to take a little break, maybe a musical break, or maybe have a glass of water and just air my legs a little bit, right? So it's important. Yeah, Jamila, true. So eat well, take enough rest, exercise soon. Yeah. Okay, Ruth, I concur. So thank you guys so much for sharing. Okay, it's true. Now, avoid overworking. That's the first thing, right? And everybody got it right. Avoid overworking, take regular breaks. Set up reminders to take breaks. Be clear with your team when you are leading. Turn off notifications when you are on break. Well, maybe if you're on a 5 minutes break, you can leave your notifications on, because maybe they will need you to always check something quickly. But then, say you are on your 15 minutes break and you've decided that, okay, this is time where I'm trying to be free, time to really take my time, then turn off your notifications, just enjoy your music. One other thing that I like doing that relaxes me a lot is I like baking. I found one activity that when I do, I don't think of anything else. My focus is on the cake or on the cookies or the whatever to come well. So I don't think of work, and I love doing that. So I'll be baking, guys. I'll be baking my way out, right? So turn off notifications when you're on break, schedule in an activity like taking a walk, schedule an activity. Mine is baking. Like last week I did like 3 cakes because it's a way for me to get free. It makes me really forget what I'm doing. Okay, so take do something that makes you really feel good when you're working in regularly. So please, I see the attendance form has been shared. Can we please, fill it in? Fill it. I just pinned it on the screen. Let's all fill the attendance form, please. The attendance actually has a lot of advantages now. People know what is at stake. And today is the last session. Today is the day when everything has to be checked out. So make sure that you fill in the attendance form. Please fill it in. Yeah, thank you so much. Bright, very, very sharp. You need to very, very sharp that response. So just always make sure that you do an activity and really trying. This month I gave myself a challenge of 30 days sports consistency. It was not the best, but we're going back again in October, and I believe that this October I'll get there. So be ready for the cultural shift. To help embrace the shift, consider the following: trust your overall performance, rethink the concept of work, understand your commitment, and be patient. Managing your overall well-being. What does it mean? You exercise regularly, you view mental health as seriously as physical health. You check in with your manager or team regularly, separate your professional and personal lives, organize in-person shows and social meetups. Like that's why I told you guys that I love working from a coffee shop, because I can have a neighbor here and then we talk. It's also a way for me to relax, because I have a lot of documents on my table. So when I talk with him, I'm like, okay, and then I get back to work concentratedly. Now we are going to stop here for our last pause of questions. Halima, please tell me what you don't understand. Tell me what you don't understand on the attendance form. Yeah, Udochi, right. Thank you so much, Nora. Mm-hmm. Eat on time. Lillian, I'm working on that too. I don't know how to eat. I'm trying to work on eating, not eating after 10 p.m. You guys should do that too. It helps to be productive. So, are there any questions? Let me see. Okay, Irene, thank you. Thank you, really. Thank you so very much. Okay, thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Precious. Okay, Alima says once I clicked on the link, it's saying report or block. Are you sure? Please refresh and click on it again. Oh, Chika, I'm happy to know that you feel good, right? So let's fast forward to your next step, because we are 1 hour done. Next steps, you already know. You can learn more with learndigital.withgoogle.com/digital skills/courses. And Amarachi has already done the work. So it's a kind reminder that there's a free boot camp from Google, and we might have one starting next week. So if you haven't yet signed up, make sure you do. It's really going to be interesting and fun. Just know that you can find us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, facebook.com/digital skills af, digital skills for Africa, twitter.com/digital skills af, and instagram.com/digital skills af. Okay, thank you guys, and don't forget to follow Impact Her. Don't you forget to follow Impact Her. The links have been dropped in the chat section. Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you guys so much for the cute comments. Yes, Jane, I baked 3 cakes. So thank you. Nice, Lilian. If that can help you distress, very good. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. Thank you for being so participative. I too, I enjoyed this session. I enjoyed this session. I enjoyed being with you people. And I really wish you guys all the best in your business endeavors. Make sure that everything that you learned during these 4 days, you use it to take your business to another level. Trust me, if you put it into application, it's going to be very good for you. Thank you. So have a great day ahead. Halima, I think you should come to the WhatsApp group chat. You're going to be helped with filling the attendance from there. Or maybe the mail Amarachi can help you. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. And thank you, Esther, for helping Alima. Thank you. So this is how we part, right? So wishing you a very great, blessed day. Wishing you a great rest of the day, a blessed day. And then, if you want to, you can always watch back the session and then make sure you subscribe so that whenever we're having trainings, you're aware that we're having trainings, right? It can always help you. Okay, bye bye, guys. We have to go to all the other things. Have a great day. Bye. Your favorite Cameroonian is leaving.